I'm Hannah Almassi, Grazia's Fashion News and Features Editor. That's always a mouthful to say that entire title. And we're here today to talk about the art of style with the wonderful blogger, Bitpling, and Darren Ski, who's menswear buying manager at Harvey Nichols. And as the title of the talk would probably indicate, the art of style really is something that's quite difficult to achieve. I will hand over to these guys to talk a little bit about themselves, and then we will kick off with how they both also found their personal style. Bip, over to you.
Hey guys, how's it going? I have a blog, and I see my blog as artwork, and I've always said that my personal style is British Museum chic, because I like to go to galleries, look at art, and I like wearing great outfits that make me feel good when I'm going to see the art. Like, I like to live in the moment, and I feel like my hair, my makeup, my shoes, whatever I'm wearing kind of add to that feeling and that atmosphere. Style's really important to me.
Okay, so I head up the whole of menswear for Harvey Nichols, so I'm responsible for curating exactly what you see in store across all of our stores in the UK and Ireland. And in terms of style, for me, I mean, there's two big differences that I see in style. One is what people call fashion, one people call style. And I think when we're looking at customers, certainly from the store's point of view, is that we have to segment these customers. You know, people who are stylish, I think that's people who are innately style. You can't teach that sort of thing. And a lot of our customers are fashionable, and it's for us to sort of dictate those fashions to the customers. But in terms of my own style, I really work around a base. So, you know, just some basics that I keep in a wardrobe all the time. And what I tend to do is dress around that. So, you know, if you just went for your wardrobe staples all the time, it'd be a bit of a mundane outfit. So what I try and do is just put some almost like dressing or icing on the cake just to lift the style. I try to dress how I feel comfortable and, you know, how I feel I should be representing the company.
So, Bip, we have some pictures of your outfits. Which made you laugh when we put them up on the screen earlier?
The third one made me laugh because I wouldn't really wear that now. But I think that was taken about 4 years ago. I have a friend who's a designer, and she asked me if I'd like to wear some of her clothes, and I did. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's silk and it's printed, these gorgeous little like kind of paintings she painted on. But what we were saying earlier is like the reason why I wouldn't wear that now, because now I feel like I know myself more, and I've developed my style a lot more, and I know what I want.
Do either of you have someone who you look up to, who you think has really perfected the art of style, other than yourselves?
I think Rihanna, I love the way how she wears clothes. She kind of feels it.
Well, she is in my list of my style icons that I've chosen for today. I've chosen all of these girls for a different reason, or women, I should say. And I'll kind of talk through the reasons why. And please pitch in your thoughts. First, Kate Moss. I feel like she's probably the most enduring style icon of our time. And in 50 years, people will still be referencing that mossy style. And I think the reason we kind of like her so much is because she actually lives the rock and roll lifestyle to go with the clothes that she wears. There are a lot of people who want to dress like rock chicks, but if you're too much of a goody two-shoes, I don't think it's authentic enough. But also, you know, her style isn't wild. A lot of us could wear black jeans, a black jumper, and a leopard print coat. So I think that's why you can't help but gravitate towards her. Marilyn Monroe I've chosen just because she's quite current this season. At the Max Mara show, it was all inspired by Marilyn being wrapped up on that towel on the beach, that really famous picture of her. And also, I think for a lot of people, you know, who have curves, there's always great style icons like this to look to and think, you know, there are really flattering shapes you can wear and they'll last a lifetime, and it doesn't really ever date her look. And Coco Chanel, this is probably in my mind because I went to the Chanel exhibition in London. I don't know if either of you have been yet to the Saatchi Gallery one. It's really amazing if you get a chance to go down to London in the next couple of weeks. It's still on. But Coco Chanel just created so many of the pillars of our wardrobes. You know, she freed women up from skirts. I don't think any of us here probably doesn't have a Breton T-shirt. And just the string of pearls and her whole joie de vivre, I think, continues to live throughout the house and way beyond as well. And then Rihanna, as we mentioned. What I love about Rihanna is how much of a chameleon she is. When you think of her early days with the Umbrella music video, where she was kind of in those little black hot pants and I think a black corset, and she's gone through so many phases. And then Stevie Nicks I've chosen just because I don't think you can escape the 1970s this season, last season, still a bit of it next season, and she's probably the most kind of referenced of a lot of the 70s icons for her Bohemia. And so really your personal style, it's like the first visual signpost, like leading people to the path of who you are. I mean, there's no denying it, whether you choose to opt out of fashion completely and ignore trends, or whether you choose to follow every trend, or whether you've kind of set your own style in stone and you won't waver away from anything. It can be quite a difficult thing, I think, for a lot of people to try and find their personal style. But why do you think that is, both of you? Why do you think it's hard?
I think, as I said earlier, I think being stylish is something you really can't be taught. I think it's something that's very innate to yourself. You get to know what your own personal style is. And as I said earlier, there's not very many guys, certainly guys, who can wake up in the morning, go to the wardrobe, just throw something on, look stylish. I think there's a lot of people who have to try, really try to be fashionable. And, there's so many different influences that are being thrown at us now through social media, print. If you take all of that on board, you can end up looking like a dog's dinner. Because there is so much being thrown, and you've really got to understand what is true to yourself. What you feel comfortable in. You don't want to wear something that is too restrictive because you're going to be fidgeting all day, and that really sort of shows your style and how you actually feel when you dress. So, I think that's why guys certainly find it difficult. And there's so many different trends that are hitting guys at the moment, and it's how you pick that trend that's suited to you.
And do either of you feel like money is an obstacle?
I'm going to say no, working for Harvey Nichols. Yeah, absolutely. But I think one of the guys I really respect in the industry, a guy called Eugene Tong, who's the fashion director for Details magazine in New York. He really signs up to this high-low trend. So it's about you could buy a very cheap, beautifully cut white T-shirt, but then putting it with a really expensive pair of jeans or a really expensive jacket. So, I don't think people have to dress head to toe in really high-priced outfits. It's about mixing it up. This jacket I got from a little second-hand store in Florence. So, you don't have to pay a lot of money. You can just search around, and as long as you've got a feeling of style, or you know what suits you, then I think that's really more important.
What do you think, Bip? Do you buy quite a few different price points, or how do you kind of put your look together?
I don't think it. I mean, I don't think it really matters where it's from, or whether it be like high street charity or like luxury, really expensive stuff. It's way how I wear it and the style, the look.
Do you think that the global fashion culture, because it's kind of growing and more visible, that we'll almost end up having a style that doesn't ever feel like it's just in one place? Do you feel like we're going to continue to take influences from everywhere? And
yeah, definitely. I think the beautiful thing of Instagram is that you can see everything everywhere at all times, which connects everybody together. So yeah.
And Darren, are you finding that's influencing your buy, kind of having different consumers but also different influences from around the world?
Yeah, completely. I mean, that's why we're trying to be more travelled than we ever have been, and get in touch with different cultures. There's a massive tribal thing at the moment in terms of people dressing in different tribes. So, we're having to understand that and make sure we represent that in terms of our edits in store. It's so difficult because the men's scene is moving so quick. I know women's scene has been moving quick for forever. But the men's scene's now picking up speed, and it's so difficult to stay in touch, not with what's happening now, but what's going to be happening in a few months' time. It's like the whole tailoring scene is completely dead and has been dead for a number of years. But with designers, they try and juxtapose a trend, so full well that if the sports trend has been so dominant as it has been the last couple of seasons, then it's only going to be a matter of time before the tailoring trend comes back in.